If you're playing pickleball and something in your body always hurts, you're probably doing one of these three mistakes. The first mistake is just always stretching and not incorporating any sort of strength work into your routine. The second mistake is playing excessive amounts of pickleball while your body is hurting and trying to tell you something. And the third mistake is not including any warm up at all, stepping out of the car, walking out of the court, and starting to play. So instead of just assuming that our body is going to be strong enough to play, we can incorporate some sort of strength work off the court in order to make sure we're in a healthy, safe spot. So with these light weights, we can do a couple things for the shoulders. In this case, I'm just going to have you do just a raise at about a 45-degree angle, hold for a 1-second count, and then come on back down. Should feel just a little challenge in the shoulder. 1-second count, hold, then right back down. We'll shoot for about 8 to 12 of these just to get the arms a little bit fatigued. We want to find a weight that is challenging but also comfortable. Good. We'll do one more here just to show it. Excellent. And then take a rest there for a second. Another one that I like to have folks do that challenges the shoulder is some sort of rowing variation. So in this case, I'm just going to have you in this split stance. So one foot's going to be in front of the other. You're going to have the arm down towards the ground. We're going to drive the elbow up, hold for a 1-second count, and then right back down to the ground. Hold for a 1-second count, and then right back down to the ground. Again, should feel just a little challenge in the backside of shoulder. Hold for a 1/2 second. Good. We'll try 2 more here just for a demonstration. Excellent. Challenge but comfortable. Again, an 8 to 12 rep is usually our target. For the lower half, so obviously those couple things get the arms ready to go. For the lower half, one of the most common exercises that I would recommend folks do is some sort of squat variation. So in this case, we're just going down into a squat, holding the weight in front of our chest, pause for a 1/2 second, and then come back up standing tall. This goblet squat variation does an excellent job to challenge the quads, also your knees, to better prepare you for the court. Excellent. Let's do one more here. Good. And break. And the last exercise when it comes to strength work is going to be some sort of a hinge variation for the back side of the legs and our back. In this case, we have a soft bend in our knees, so they're not locked out fully straight. The weight is moving towards the front part of my toes, pausing for a 1/2 second, then stand up nice and tall. Towards the front part of my toes, stand up nice and tall. Should feel a little challenge to the back side of the leg, so a little less knee bend. So your knees are going to stay a little straighter, almost like you're just bending over towards your toes. And then when you stand up nice and tall, emphasize squeezing your buttock at the top. So down, you should feel a little pull on hamstrings. When you stand up nice and tall, we should squeeze the buttocks. So you feel a little bit of muscle activity in the backside. Good. And rest. Very good. Most pickleball players include some light static stretching before getting onto the court, but don't properly warm their body up prior to play. These static stretches can feel comfortable, but oftentimes don't prepare the muscles and tissues for pickleball like they should. In order to properly warm the body up prior to play, we need to incorporate some sort of dynamic movement. So instead of that static stretching, I'll have us start with the hamstring. So instead of just holding that stretch while you're bending over to touch your toes, I'm going to have you walk your hand down your leg, and then come on back up to stand tall, and then we'll switch to the other leg. I'll have you walk your hand down that leg, stand tall. We'll try one more each side here. Good. I'm going to show one other variation. So again, instead of just statically holding this stretch, we can be a little bit more productive with some other options. So I'm just going to have you try and do a kind of a kick your hand with your leg pretty straight, and then we'll go with the same thing with the other leg. So you're going to try and kick your hand with your leg straight. Good. Then kick your hand with your leg straight. It's a little bit more challenging, but also just a little bit more bang for the buck when it comes to court work. So I'm going to have you go into just that arm swing. Excellent with those short, small circles, and then nice and big and wide. Very good. It's just a simple arm movements, kind of like a chest fly when you're standing up. Should feel a little bit of a stretch in the chest, but also a little bit more activity in the backside of the shoulder. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button below. This allows me to reach a much wider audience.